Hello everybody, this is This520, and with the fact that I've been able to reacquire my DLCs for Battlefield 4, thanks to a little glitch I managed to find on the PS3, I will be also returning to Battlefield 4 for some videos. So now that I have completed the beginner series, the Battlefield 4 beginning series, and now that I have also finished, finished up with a lot of the game before, and since I'm restarting the game all over again due to my new account, I thought it would be good for me to talk about, or what I'm going to be doing here, which is progression loadouts. So what is the progression loadout series? Well, this is the new series I'm starting, and the series will be based on a sort of rotating basis. So essentially what will happen is that once to twice a week, if I can manage it, I will make a loadout video based on the current weapons I'm using, what their strengths are, what the roles are of those weapons, and how far you have to be in the progression to use them, as well as go over the strengths, weaknesses, and should you use this weapon at endgame, before finally talking about how to maximize XP and how to play the loadout effectively. Today we'll be doing what I like to call the beginning support setup. This will only be using the first, some of the first unlocks you get, and they'll talk about what's good about it, what's bad about it, and which maps, modes to play it on, so on and so forth. So, let's get into the loadout, shall we? Okay, so first we shall be going over the primary and secondary weapon. The primary weapon is the U100 MK5. This is the starting weapon for the support class. And while it has gotten nerfs and some buffs over time, simply put, I think this is probably the easiest of all the starting weapons to use, and it is also probably one of the only starter weapons that is effective once you get to late game. So let's go over a quick stat roll. Mostly I'm just going to be talking about damage, mag size, and fire rate. So the weapon fires at 600 RPM, same as most of the AK series. It has a damage of 20, if I remember correctly, or not 20, but like below 25. It's a 5-shot kill, and that drops all the way down to a 7-shot kill, I believe, a 6 or 7-shot kill at long range. The weapon's fire modes are full auto, burst, and semi-auto. And as for your starting attachments, the weapon starts off with a Chinese holoscope, a magnifier, and a bipod. Okay, so let's get right into the nitty-gritty of this gun. Simply put, the best thing about this gun is it has 0 recoil, it has great bullet velocity, and it does not have it's one of the best when it comes to aim down sight spread while standing still, being a .25, which is not assault rifle accuracy, but is very close to it. Overall, my notes of this weapon are that it is extremely well and easy to control, it is extremely versatile in what it can do, and as for its negatives, it has an issue with being able to compete in close range due to its overall low DPS, and it also has the fact that you will be frequently running out of ammo due to the fact that you only have a 30-round mag. Okay, so let's get into your secondary. Your secondary will be the starting pistol of the game, the P226. This is a 4 to 5 shot, or 4 to 7 shot kill, but in ranges you'll be using it 4 to 5 shot kill pistol with a fire rate cap of around 900 RPM. The weapon starts with 6 rounds in the mag and has an overall very fast reload. The 3 big things I've noted about are its extremely high spray increase per shot, its very, very manageable recoil, and its very high fire rate for its damage values with its mag size. Overall, you keep this weapon until you probably get the Grok if you want to use it. Otherwise, you can just use it for any of the other pistols. It's more personal preference on the secondaries. So, let's get into how you build this setup. So in this first section of the gameplay, I am leveling up the weapon. This is me using it with the hollow sight and the standard sights and stuff like that. The first 2 things you want to do to make the class up correctly is you want to level up until you have the 3.4 times optic for the U100. Simply put, due to its low recoil, you can use the weapon with a magnified optic, which is better considering the fact that the range of most maps. Though, if you are put into a more close range map, I would recommend switching back to the hollow sight magnifier combo. But otherwise, that is it. Secondly, you will get the stubby grip before leveling up any of them. I recommend that over the bipod, as the U100 is not very good at bipoding due to its low magazine size. And the fact is that the stubby grip reduces its one biggest flaw at range, which is its spread increase per shot being above average. As for anything else, once you unlock the heavy barrel, that is the first barrel you want to run. And if you manage to get a flash hider out of the out of a battle pack, I would recommend using that until you get the heavy barrel, or you can switch them out vice versa whenever you wish, if you have both. So, onto the gadgets. We are running claymores and the ammo pouch. Simply put, the crates we do not unlock until later on in the progression tree, so we'll be stuck with the ammo pouch. The issue with the ammo pouch is that it can only refill ammo to one person at a time, and it cannot refill gadgets and or grenades. As for our secondary gadget, we will be running claymores, as the XM25 is a 3-shot kill, even if you hit them pretty much directly with it. So I do not find it a viable weapon in most circumstances. As for the claymores are very good, especially on maps with buildings, so you can post up in a position to provide cover fire. Okay. As finally for the grenade, we'll be starting with the standard frag, as that is pretty much the easiest thing you'll be using. Until you start getting a lot more kills with grenades, it's kind of the easiest option. Otherwise, let's get into the playstyle, how to maximize your XP, so on and so forth. So, due to this weapon's really low skill ceiling and the rest of the build's very low skill ceiling, overall, dealing with infantry, you will not have very many issues. As for playstyles, I would recommend being somewhat more back in the fight, or a flanker role, instead of being a main force, up in their face type of gunner. As for ranged combat, simply put, if you are having issues with getting in close range, or if you want, or they are too long of a range for you, feel free to slap into semi-auto, as you will see in a later clip. I am able to use the weapon effectively at extremely long ranges in semi-auto, because even due to its low damage, the high muzzle velocity and low bullet drop helps compensate for that. Otherwise, simply put, just play this like your normal support class. The one downside of this build, or the two, I should say, is that this class tends to not do very well in close quarters, as I've stated multiple times earlier, and that it has issues dealing with vehicles. Namely, the only way you're going to be dealing with vehicles is having engineers and or engineers, recons, and or a battle pickup around to support you. Otherwise, your other, I guess, biggest issue is the fact that due to your kit, you are not only bad at dealing with close range targets, but you're also you also cannot grant gadgets to the people that may need it. So granting rockets to engineers is a big thing that support should be doing, but sadly, because of the fact that we have to run the pouch, gadgets will not be recovered. Okay, on to the big segment before I just talk about gameplay and my impressions of this build. The overall XP gains of this build. I have managed to, mind you, with a 25% booster, and as of right now, double XP is active basically forever at this point, it seems, or on every weekend. Or not even weekend, just every week. The average amount of things you'll get a game, at least starting at level 1, you can easily get this class to get you a few level ups every like 2 games. I have gotten at least 3 level ups when using this class. At the very least, you'll get at least 1 level up if you can do fairly well. As for what you gain the most XP from, simply put, most of it is just guns, just killing people in general. But your biggest source of XP outside of your standard killing is just keep granting ammo to your friendlies. One of the biggest things that makes the ammo pouch actually easier for you when you are a low tier or a low level support player is the fact that you will have the ability to throw ammo at a longer range. Therefore, you can stay back a bit more instead of having to run up to give ammo to people. You can just get close enough for the range to auto throw, and then you can just auto throw the people. As for maximizing your XP, simply put, just don't die too often, keep yourself in the back lines, provide suppressing fire to your teammates, spot targets, and just keep on using your frickin' ammo pouches. Onto my overall build impressions. This build, I'm not going to lie, in both cases when I was leveling up, I did not like this build very much at first. But now, realizing it and adjusting my playstyle to fit the weapon and to fit the actual build's needs, overall, I've come to really warm up to this build, as it is very versatile in what it can do. And out of the starter weapons, I actually think the U100 is the best of all the full auto starting weapons, as it has the best overall stats. It is quite comparable to most of the other LMGs in the game, and its one big bonus is that it does not compromise all of its potential DPS values for recoil, unlike the AK-12 in the assault class, which is functionally similar to this gun, but overall throws away anything that would make it competitive for an assault rifle for its recoil. As the U100, simply put, is actually quite in line with most of the other LMGs. As for ways to upgrade this build, once you gain it, I would recommend switching your ammo pouches to crates as soon as you can. And as for your leftwards gadget, I would recommend either switching to a mortar if you're playing rush modes or any modes where there are specific battle lines being made. And if you're playing a more aggressive or vehicle-centric mode or maps such as Conquest on Gomad Railway, which you see here, if you have the class fully unlocked, I would recommend throwing on a C4 just to be able to deal with some of those pesky vehicles. Otherwise, there's not much optimization really needed to this build. This is a build you can pretty much start the game off with, and you'll be effective at almost everything that happens. Other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I want to see what you guys think of this series, because getting back into Battlefield 4, I think this is something that would be more beneficial than just telling people how to level up faster and stuff like that. Instead, giving them examples, and especially showing them throughout the grind what classes are very good, and how to progress the fastest, will be very good. Otherwise, for the next build video I will be making, I will probably be making later at some point, either on Tuesday or Wednesday, and that will be, I will be making a video on the assault class, which will be a lot worse than this one, but still. Either way, guys, once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed me making this video. If you guys want to see me do more of this style of videos, please like, subscribe, comment down below, telling me what you thought of it. And yeah, otherwise, guys, this is Desmond530, tap firing and semi-auto the way home, and I'll be seeing you guys all later.